Hey, welcome to Cajun Toy Review. This is going to be our second part of our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles review of the movie figures from Neca. We did Leonardo and Donatello already, so today we're going to be doing Raphael and Michelangelo. I got those two turtles out the way so we can get my favorite two turtles done now. They look awesome already. I really like Raphael's looking all pissed off at looking at the ground, and Michelangelo's got that grin on his face like he's eyeing a pizza. These just look fantastic. So let's look at the box. Got our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo on the top. Here's the actual movie logo on the very top of the box. We got that picture from the original poster teaser right there. Is awesome. We got the two character names, Skyline. This side we got Raphael and a full shot of Raphael. Headshot of Michelangelo and full shot of Mikey there. On the back of the box we got our product shots of Raphael and Michelangelo. Of course, Michelangelo has to have a pizza in his hand. And did the read-up is pretty much the same thing as the other one, so I'm not going to bore you with that twice. So not much else to say about that. These guys need to come out and join the other two, so let's get these guys out. Alright, Raphael and Michelangelo out of their box. This, like I should be a little bit more stoked. These are my two favorite turtles. But there's already a few issues I have with these guys. Setting them up and just kind of like posing a little basic setup for it. And we'll talk about it. Now, looking at him set up and everything and stuff like that on here, Raphael looks badass. He looks awesome. The way like they sculpted his head, like, you know, he kind of tilts his head a little bit forward and stuff like that, and he looks like he's about to go rage. Michelangelo, that face is priceless. It really works. But there's some issues, and it's mostly just with the add-on stuff like that, and quality. So let's take these guys off of there. Well, let's look at their accessories first, and then we'll get to the breakdown. Looking at Raphael and Michelangelo's accessories, it's a little bit more of the same. If you've watched the previous video, we do have our two grip hands that both turtles have that are the same. These are painted really well with the veins and, you know, like the fingernails and stuff like that. They look really good. My complaint about these, especially when it turns into Raphael, these fingers are basically there is no way to separate this. So this is together, like so you'd have to either cut. I mean, I'm not going to, but you'd either have to cut or separate. And the reason why I'm even mentioning that is because Raphael, the way they hold the size and stuff like that, and in the comics and a lot of things like that, is in between the fingers. So they kind of look like something like that, and that's one of the reasons I love the original the Mirage comic figures and stuff like that that came out from NECA years ago, is because Raphael could actually hold the size properly. And it's unfortunate that these figures, you can't do it with these, not easily. You would have to either use this like hand like here and wedge it in like that, but it's not going to look right. So, and these hands aren't going to work either. So I actually had to borrow a hand from the other set, just for the like little photo thing at the beginning when they're on the carousel, on the just to spin it, just have his hand holding the side that way, which is a little bit of a bummer for me. But if you're not, you know, that might be something small for someone else. But yeah, anyway, so we got two grip hands, and the hands are different for the set. So the other two hands that we get is we get these two thumbs up, which are awesome. They look really cool. I just wish we would have got like 4 thumb up hand. We could have done something pretty cool with that in the set. And then we have, again, these kind of like grabby hands, you know, for holding pizza or whatnot. But yeah, these are very similar to these, just with that third digit more down on the other set. So the headbands, same thing. So you have the over the shoulder kind of just default headband like that. Ralph. So it just kind of sits on the shoulders. And then these are just kind of swept from either side. That way you have the detail. So if you wanted it on that side swooped out, or side sweeped out so you don't lose the detail. And that's really it for that. That's what the 3 headbands kind of do. The 2 pizzas are the same as the other set. Grab one of those. So yeah, it's just 3 pieces of a supreme pizza on there, but it looks really cool. I like it a lot. But I would like the little variety, give some pepperoni or some no pineapple. Definitely no pineapple, but pepperoni would have been cool. The size, Raphael size, they look great. I remember when the movie first came out, I remember they were being like, I thought they were dramatically really big, but that was more traditional how they're supposed to look, and these look awesome. The paint on them is really great. I love all this tapered stuff like that, like they're all wrapped up and everything. Looks really awesome. Again, like Leonardo's size, they look worn and used, so awesome there. As for Michelangelo's nunchucks, so another thing I remember when I first saw the movie, I was like, they don't have chains on them. But that was pretty weird. But these look awesome. They look also, again, they look really worn with all these like little notches and marks on them and stuff like that. This wire is kind of bendy, so you can kind of move it around. Now, I had this out for maybe 30 seconds when I first started doing my pictures and stuff, and I think it's this one. Yeah, it's still a little wet, but this one is the definition of just the tip, because I just barely touched it and it popped out, so I glued it back, and hopefully, I mean, I'm gonna be posing them, I'm not gonna be playing with them. Adult collector, I guess, but it's kind of, you know, unfortunate that happened like right there, but easy fix, so thankfully. So that's really it for the accessories. You know, it looks like a lot, but it's mainly some extra hands and some extra bandanas. So if you want more accessories, you got to pony up and get that accessories kit, which is a little bit more unique. Has some cool movie moments you can recreate. But what you see is what you get, and for that price, we're paying for 2 great figures. So speaking of, let's take a look at Michelangelo. Alright, Michelangelo, the party dude. We got him right here, and he looks hilarious. This is pretty much everyone's favorite turtle for the most part, unless you're playing the original arcade game. And they nailed the sculpt. My god, they look so good. His eyes just look fantastic. Like, you know, you can kind of make him look in a couple different ways, and it just works. It doesn't, you know, but dead on, and you got that grin, and, you know, he's about to go nuts about some pizza unless it has penicillin on it. But love it, like love it. This makes me want to like watch the movie again. This definitely makes me want to like set up and do tons of poses with these guys. So let's look at him. We're going to be brief because they're basically mostly the same. For the turtles, we'll kind of point out the little differences and stuff. But once again, the sculpt is different. Head sculpt is very unique on Michelangelo. We actually get an open mouth on this turtle with some teeth, and the teeth look awesome. They're really, really detailed. We can see a little bit of that mouth and that tongue in there. Can't see any extra eyes, but that is Donatello, who has 4 eyes, so we're okay. Love the spots on him. You know, shell, very clean. His belt is, of course, different from the other 3 turtles we looked at so far. Kind of got the studs over here, all different little loops, and comes around. Now, it's loose on the side, so this is kind of where we would stick his chucks. So they're just going to fit underneath his belt. So, you know, it's pretty loose. So you got room for the chucks in there with no problem. You're not really stretching anything out. You know, if you want it, you can slide a piece of pizza in there. So we got room for all that. But like I said, anyway, it looks great. Pull all that stuff out so we got that. The belt on the back, it's got a little bit of looseness right here. I guess if you wanted to, you could force the chucks on there, like how the original was and everything. Now, one thing I want to point out is that his shell is very pristine, very, very clean. He is generally usually considered the youngest of the 4 turtles, the baby of the group, and his shell definitely portrays that very well. So it's like very, very bright, and all the line work stuff's very clean, as we'll see when we get to our next bad boy. Legs stuff, same thing as the other turtles and stuff like that. Anyway, no paint issues on this guy that I have come across. It looks like a little bit of shine right there, maybe something I'll try to wipe off on his face. But as for everything else, no paint defects, no missed spots, no sloppy paint on him as well. I mean, these guys are meant to look stained and a little dirty and stuff like that. They do live in a sewer after all. But anyway, no complaints about Mikey of size for the little nunchuck thing, and I can forgive him for that. So let's look at our bad boy Raphael. Alright, and here we have our final turtle. Save the best for last, Raphael. And they nailed that angst and that anger face. He's got that fury brow. His eyes are much smaller and more furrowed than like Michelangelo and the rest of the turtles and stuff like that. He just looks like he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to take some time to learn some brotherly love. I really liked how they did Raphael in the movie. It was very similar to the comic, especially with Casey coming in and everything and stuff like that. It was different. I want to say it was... Now I'm drawing a blank. I thought it was Leo, but anyway, with turtles getting injured, you know, Raphael spent some time in the tub for a while. We think he might die. It's very traumatic for a young child. But Raphael, like from the beginning of the movie, lost his eye, was angry and stuff like that. When we watched Critters, fought with Casey, he pretty much almost got the most individual time and most growth for all the turtles in the movie. So I guess that's why he really grew on me, because in the cartoon he was nothing like that. And then he was much softer and more goofier. You know, in the cartoon he would be cracking jokes with Michelangelo, while in the movie he's gonna throttle somebody. So looking at the figure and stuff like that, like I said, head sculpt, phenomenal. You know, got the eyes, stuff like that. Like, it's kind of a little bit harder to see him because his eyes are a little bit more closed, but they are awesome. You can actually see his teeth. You don't get really much mouth like you did with Michelangelo, because his mouth is much closer. He's got that little grimace. You know, he's not very happy on there. But yeah, great stuff. It looks like he has a scar right here, which is pretty awesome on there. And I'm not sure if that's a defect or not, but that does look really cool. Now, speaking of, on this shell, when I opened them up, there was like a little piece of extra paint that was right here that I just tapped with my thumb and came away. And there's like a little paint chip right there. But you know what? It's Raphael. I kind of like it because Raphael gets his ass kicked. A shell kicked, let's say. And speaking of transition, look at that. Look at the back of the shell. Now, we've seen the other three turtle shells at this point and stuff like that, with Leonardo and Donatello's being different symmetrically but not banged up or anything. Michelangelo's shell looking brand new out of the box. Raphael's shell has seen some better days. It is all jacked up and scratched all over the place. You know, he had a long night with Catwoman from Channel 6, so he's all scratched up. But looking at the belt, so the shell, awesome, love it. Look at the belt. We have our little bolts and everything right here, or whatever, or studs, and these two little pockets you can see right here, which fit his size if he's in possession of both of them. And they just drop in there like that, so you can actually do the part with the but I don't have the trench coat one, so we'll just skip that. But really, paint and everything on the sides besides this little chip right here, no other issues with Raphael. Amazing looking figure is all. So now we'll just kind of line them up. We're going to do some pictures with all four of them, but just for that, Mikey and Raphael. I'm going to measure these guys out. I think Mikey's going to be a little bit shorter than Raphael. I'm going to soak Raphael's right foot in hot water a little bit, because he is a little bit not standing so well. Alright. Mikey is, he's right under 6.5. Raphael is at 6.5. So we'll do it all lined up and stuff like that. But anyway, if you can pick these up retail, it's about $55. If you can get these guys for about $55, it's a little bit over 100 for all four. They are fantastic. I can't believe I waited this long to open these guys, and I'm so glad I did. Like I said, these are going to have a permanent space on my desk now. I love them so much. You know, what's your favorite turtle? Already asked. Who's your favorite out of these four sets? Do you own these sets? What do you think about them? Do you think it's worth the money as well? If you like the review, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you have a friend who likes turtles, whatever, give us a share. But check out for more content. We'll be doing some more NECA Turtles and different types, Marvel Legends, DC, and whatever else comes along. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate everyone. Anyone who's left a comment or a like or subscribed. You is what making the channel. Every time I open my stuff to check it and I see the content and the people coming and looking at it and stuff like that, it just really makes me feel good. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, guys. Check in the next video. Take care of yourself.